but you know,
We probably would have said that about LGD.
So it looks like Fnatic and Navi are like pretty cemented in, I guess. I mean,
well, here's the thing though.
Navi could even drop 2 versus DK.
A lot of these top teams
Yeah.
are playing each other. We have we have Dignitas playing against Navi. We have Dignitas playing against Fnatic, and then DK playing against Navi, and DK also playing against Fnatic. So who knows?
So
like,
Zenith has no chance because they have to play Navi. That's what we're assuming.
didn't we cast it already?
Oh, did we?
What?
Navi Zenith? Wait, who does Zenith have to play yet? I don't even know if they're out.
Navi played Zenith yesterday.
Navi plays Zenith.
Why are
okay,
we
so
talking
the
about Zenith?
schedule.
They're so far down in this group anyway.
Well, they're like, I'm trying to see if they're even in consideration. They have 4 wins. LGD China has 4 wins, but we're not counting LGD out.
That's true, but just like the way the Zenith played, like I don't think they're gonna 2-0 many teams. They'll 1-1 a lot of teams, perhaps.
I mean,
but-
they just beat Wisp
yeah, but did you see
on the
game
Western
1?
team. I did see game 1.
They're too inconsistent.
I mean, if they can play like they did the second game and actually be useful.
People have been
without
saying
ice.
if Zenith can do this, then that will happen about this team for years,
Yeah,
literally
that's
years.
true. This is true. They're
Like,
too
that's-
inconsistent.
That's sort of the
to get in the top
storyline with
4.
them.
That's right.
Sorry, I've cast this team so much, and like you want to get hyped about them, and you want to get excited, you want to believe. You do not put too much of your hopes and dreams on Zenith,
Okay.
unless you're okay with being horribly.
So it
disappointed.
just looks like a top 5. Fnatic, EU, Navi, Dignitas, DK, and LGD, and we have some pretty high-profile matches coming up.
Dude, Group B though, who's gonna get top 4 in that?
Seriously.
Look how close that is.
I mean, what about the bounce back from Orange Esport?
I told you guys. I even posted on Facebook. I said Orange will go 5-1 today because they had 2 easy games. They have 1 tougher game against IG, which I think they could 1-1, and then they had to play. I think it was VP and Rattlesnake or LGD and Rattlesnake, which to me should be 2-0s for Orange.
Yeah, in Group B, we also have like insane matches. Let me just track IG's match real fast. They had to play against VP, which I think they already did. They have to play against. Holy crap! Tomorrow they have to play against Liquid, so that's going to be a kind of a decider for ranks. And they have to play against Orange
Jeez.
and Tongfu.
What? That's all the best teams.
So IG has Team Liquid, Tongfu, Orange, and
Yeah, I feel like losing that
Rattlesnake.
one game versus LGD didn't really set them back because you really just want to 2-0 the bottom 3 teams.
I mean,
in
that's
Group
how
B.
they felt too.
Yeah, that's ugly.
But I mean, you guys are. Whoever said what about Arn? I mean, that's true. They went 5-0 since starting 0-3, so that's a good streak for them. They are beating up on some of the easier teams, sure, but you know, you beat up enough easy teams, and suddenly you're flexing. So, okay, our next match coming up is going to be Tongfu versus LGD International. Very important match for Tongfu. I think LGD, very slim chance they finish top 4.
Yeah.
But, you know, still a
Tongfu
good-
were like the favorites in Group B aside from Alliance.
Yeah, I think most of us had Alliance, Tongfu, and then we all had different choices for the next 2.
I mean, I think that 4-4 looks really bad.
yeah.
But right now they're 4-2, and then they play Alliance, and everybody will get 0-2 against Alliance. So just don't even ignore that they're 4-2 right now. Everybody's gonna.
If
get 0-2.
everyone 0-2s to Alliance, then yeah,
Yeah.
those games don't matter for the other teams.
Right,
standing
so-
against. That's true. Maybe Navi can, or not Navi. Navi's not in their group. Never
No.
mind.
Tongfu.
Tongfu.
Maybe Tongfu
They already
can take
beat them
it.
though.
Yeah, they already beat them.
They already beat IG too.
I
It's Liquid.
misinterpreted
It's
your
Liquid
statement.
versus. That's actually I think the most
So
interesting.
Liquid's
game
the
going
only
on
hope
right now.
for.
It's on Cheever's
beating-
stream, right?
beating
Liquid versus
Alliance?
Alliance.
That
So-
Sheaver gets
I
all
mean,
the best
personally,
games.
if I wasn't casting, that's probably the game I'd be watching. But you guys should stay here because we're casting a cool game too. Tongfu versus LGD coming up next. Best of 2, 2-game set. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll be live with that. Stay tuned.
Your last chance, last summer, your last dance to beat to your own drummer. Go out fighting, go out young. A flash of lightning clips the sun. Last chance, last summer, your last dance to beat to your own drummer. Go out fighting, go out young. Flash of lightning clips the sun. Brace yourself, brace yourself, brace yourself. Your last chance, last summer, your last dance, beat your own drummer. Go out fighting, go out young. A flash of lightning clips the sun. Brace yourself, brace yourself.
Alright, I got an update for you guys. Looks like DK just 2-0'd, or I should actually say Navi 2-0'd DK so hard that even the Chinese casters were pretty much praising them and saying they're praising Navi, saying that this year is no good for China and Navi alliance is too strong. So next match has just started. We're going to be getting it to you guys in just a sec.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our fourth of 6 matches for today. I'm LD and he's Merlini, and we're going to talk about LGD International versus Tong Fu.
You excited?
Exciting matchup. I don't think two of the sexiest teams of the tournament, but it's still an important match for Tong Fu. They just got 2-0'd by Alliance. We want to see if they can bounce back. We'll start with their opponents, though. 2-6 in Group B. They have been struggling quite a bit. They were very disappointed with their day one performance. It's LGDN. We'll start with their one position player, Pycat. Carry player, likes Luna. Pycat means Pycat in Swedish, in case you didn't know.
I like leaving LD hanging.
Yeah, thanks. G, God kill them all, the Russian.
Hyper aggressive.
No surprises there. Brax, 3 position, offlaner. Young gun on the team. Lots of talent. Misery, your 4 position, one of the most experienced players. It is an interesting mix overall. They've got a lot of different players as far as nationalities, backgrounds, and styles go, and that leaves us with 1437. 5-position support. So LGDN, I think one of the weaker teams in this tournament, and they've looked it so far.
Their laning's not that poor. They just seem to fall apart like post 20-25 minutes, which is usually most Eastern's time to shine. So like I think they really need a good early to mid game lead if they want to take down Tongfu.
As for Tongfu, we saw some aggression from these guys in their first game against the Alliance, and it was almost enough. Hal was the one leading the way there. Shadowblade Alk, 1-position player. We don't have the Alk on there, but he's been playing it quite a bit. That leaves your 2-position. It's Mu, one of the most respected. There we go. One of the most respected solo mids from China by the Western
Beat out Ferrari?
players.
Oh wait, did he beat out Ferrari? No, he's 1-1 versus Ferrari. in the
Yeah,
solo
but a
tournament.
lot of the Western players really respect him as a solo
He's
mid.
he's pretty good.
3-position, King J, veteran. He's kind of calling the shots for this team now. E-Home, legendary player, 2010. All the belts in the world as far as championships go, but 4-position, Banana,
Fantastic support.
definitely their stronger support player. It leaves Sang Sheng. He's been with the team for a while. Has not really been a standout player, and I think if they want to go deep, they're going to need him to step up.
Yeah, all he needs to do is just follow Banana.
Yeah.
And just not get caught out of position. It seems like way too often he just gets caught out, and as a support, you die in like 2 spells.
you can't get
you
caught
can't
out.
get caught out.
Well, with that being said, we'll hand it over to our casters. Purge and Lumi will be covering this one, so guys, take it away.
Lumi, are you awake? Okay, you are awake.
I'm just face palming right now.
I think he's a little upset with the draft, so let's hop into it really quick. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. This is a pretty big match, as we did talk about the standings. We were saying, oh yeah, Tongfu's essentially 4-2, but this is going to be a tough match. I think LGD has a chance of taking a game off of them, and every game that they take off of Tongfu is going to really hurt their potential for hitting top 4.
LD, can you sub for me? I don't want to cast another. Last game, Wisp did lose, and obviously Tongfu did give away first pick. Or sorry, they realized that they don't have first pick. They don't ban the Wisp on purpose. Perhaps they have a strategy against it. Also, the big statistics coming out of this tournament so far is that second pick has been winning a lot more in this tournament. So I don't know exactly what the value is. I could tab out to quickly check. 65% win on second pick.
Yeah, if you guys don't know exactly how good 65% is, that's a 31 win, 17 loss, which always looks way better to me than the percentage. I mean, that's a huge difference. So second pick does give you better chances statistically on a small sample size. But
It's a small sample size, and I'm pretty sure in those second pick win games, not many of them had Wisp in it. So that's kind of, I guess, the storyline that we were missing out. But we saw in last game when you have heroes that are very elusive, such as the Queen of Pain, such as Timbersaw, such as Sakuchi Weaver, you don't really care about the Wisp too much. He is quite weak early on if you have enough burst damage. That's what we saw with Timbersaw, right? If you just Chakram, Whirling Death, Chain, and that Wisp just blows up. So if Tongfu have, Timbersaw as a counter in mind, maybe they run it, but I'm not sure. I still don't feel comfortable by a Chinese team giving away Wisp.
Well, LGDN's going to grab Razor once again. This is a hero that they've been actually drafting quite a bit. The last game I saw of them, they grabbed a Razor. They got absolutely stomped. I don't know if that was the cause, but it does give them a lot of potential to steal damage from annoying heroes. The hero that was banned Tier 1, by the way, was actually Lifestealer, so it wasn't exactly picked up just for the Lifestealer pick. There's also an OD ban, so it wasn't grabbed for a OD counter pick. Just some teams really honestly like the hero. Another benefit that he has is some minus armor out of his ulti, which can help you kill the Dragon Knight as well.
Yeah, I really think that we're going to have these two teams match up very well together, and this should be a very exciting game because Tongfu, the way that we saw them play against Alliance, they'd like to be very aggressive early on, especially in that game number 1, how getting that Shadow Blade from the safe lane and just start ganking all over the map. And that's what LG International likes to do as well. They like to double roam quite a bit with the support and then set up kill everywhere else. Now, LGD in the past have been running things like Wisp, Vengeful Spirit, and Nature's Prophet as kind of like your dual gank, tri-gank. It's actually surprisingly effective as a ganking squad. And let's see if Tongfu is ready for that. Picking up a Juggernaut, you can spin dodge Magic Missile, I guess.
Yeah, and even describing it as a double roam with the Vengeful Spirit is even a little inaccurate because the way that LGD Int has been playing Venge lately hasn't even been as a full roll. It's more of like a 3.5, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't CS that often, but he consistently purchases expensive items. And some of the other games that we've seen, Misery do extremely well in that position. Think about him in the past. He's a very old mid player, so he has the snowball potential with him. And Vengeful Spirit is definitely a hero that gives you that potential.
Well, we're not going to see that this game. We're going to see the Shadow Demon.
3.5 Shadow Demon?
maybe less successful.
Yeah, probably.
But I think I picked up to set up that Razor link. Actually, Razor is going to be very good against Juggernaut. Juggernaut spins in, and he wants to be next to you doing the damage, and you steal the damage. Obviously, you have to tank the Blade Fairy for a bit, but generally as a Razor, you're that tanky. I think the big storyline for Razor is that either he does really well or he does very poorly. There's very lack of in between, and we'll look towards who is playing it and how well they will snowball with that hero.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to come back with heroes that don't have hard disables or flash farming tools, and Razor doesn't really have those. Sure, it's great to be able to static link and sap damage and get a big damage output, but you don't have an escape really. Like if they jump on you and they have the right disables, they can just blow you up. And before you get items, I mean, he needs items to get tanky. He definitely needs EXP. It's kind of a weird, interesting situation. And one benefit here, he can sap damage from the bear, which is one nice thing that as a result of Tongfu's picks here.
And Tongfu has to know this, so I'm very surprised in them picking actually into this Lone Druid. Obviously, the combo here is that you do Juggernaut, Healing Ward, and you allow your Dragonite, your birds in front, your Lone Druid Bear, just to basically everybody hit the tower.
Yeah, it's definitely a pushing strat coming out of Tongfu.
I mean, I guess it's okay. Sure, there is static link against the bear, but the bear could be easily pulled back, recall back, and the link breaks. One thing that you have to be careful is that there is a lot of ways to cancel that recall back. Rocket Flare, Shadow Demon Poison, and whatever else that LG Gaming In is picking. So Tongfu looking for a semi-aggressive early game strat, a very aggressive pushing strat. And I'm not sure whether LG Gaming has what it takes to deal with it. Yeah,
the one thing I do like about Razor as a draft, though, is that Plasma Field, his first skill, is a really good counter-pushing method. It has quite long range. It can do, I believe, 370 magic damage. Let me just check. It's going to mess up all our overlays. Yep, 370 damage max magic, so you can counter-push with that pretty easily. They might need another spell. They've got Rocket as well as Razor right now, but they definitely need at least one other thing to try to slow down the push if possible. And it's going to be tough, though, because they've got the Juggernaut Ward, they have Lone Druid, they've got Visage, they've got Dragonite. That's basically three heroes that are extremely good at tower pushing, and a tanky support out of Visage and Rubik on the backside to cover everybody.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to go into Tongfu on the front line at least because they just have so much stun, the instant stun from Dragonite. They have so much HP. The Healing Ward is going to be somewhat in the back and hard to reach. But I think when you have a hero like Clockwork, you could isolate a Rubik on the back line and just kill him very quickly. You have a Wisp. You could port half your team to the back line if that's what you want to do. So I don't think Tongfu should be feeling too confident in terms of making a frontal push and expecting LGD just would not defend it, because I think LGD will have many avenues of defense. In fact, they could even smoke behind. That's kind of a little bit more traditional way of doing it. So LGD, depending on what they go with this last pick, I think something like a Lycanthrope is what they like to play quite a bit. Luna will be pretty decent in conjunction with Clockwork. I feel like they need at least one more core, and they need a core that will do a ton of damage. Well, I guess Brax's Nature's Prophet would be pretty good here.
So this is going to be in the off lane, which means that he's going to be able to pull the creep wave past the tower. The downside being Lone Druid Bear plus Healing Ward means they can more or less infinitely tank the tower. So I'm still a little bit worried for the tower's total survivability here, but hopefully it goes okay for them. So let's go over the players quick for the Radiant team. LGD and currently sitting, I believe, 2-6 in the group stage. So very low chances of hitting the top 4, but most importantly is how many games can they take off of Tongfu? We've got Pycat playing Razor, 1437 on the Wisp. Misery's going to be playing Shadow Demon. Brax is on the Nature's Prophet. And the last player is going to be G, playing the Clockwork.
Yeah, as for our Dari team Tongfu, they have very tough matches coming up. I think they have a match against Navi, I believe, as well as IG. And they're basically competitors in terms of who's ranking higher in that group stage. So every single match for Tongfu right now matters quite a bit. And on the mid row, we have Mu playing the Dragonite. Shansheng's going to be playing the support Visage. Banana on the support Rubik. We have King J playing Juggernaut. And last but not least, Hao, who's generally a one-row player, playing the Lone Druid.
And we'll see what his build is here. He's got a Stout Shield on the Bear. Kind of looks like an off-lane Bear potential. They're going to do one aggressive ward. This should block the camp. I think it's right in this big square of blocking. Was it about the ward block?
Sounds about right, yeah.
So hopefully for them, that will not get dewarded. Are there sentries on the Radiant team? I would assume so. Pycat going for a fast basey build, and yes, sentries on the Shadow Demon. We'll see if they catch these. There have been a lot more common observer wards in this general area here, so it's entirely possible that somebody will be able to block that with a sentry placed around here.
Yeah, generally when you see an enemy team making that 5-man kind of invading your jungle, you kind of do expect some wards to be dropped off. Banana is going to hang around, try to contest for a rune, but here comes the Razor. If he could get the link off, no. Banana just got up the hill like that.
Maybe should have linked to Shadow Demon instead to go for the disruption, but maybe they didn't want to force it. They really had no
idea. I mean, if they get that disrupt off, he was dead, right?
Yeah, it would possibly. It's hard to say. They didn't have any disables after that point other than a tether, so They could have tethered with Static Link to maybe kill, but
All right, so this is going to be a Triling versus Triling, and of course, on one side you have Visage, one of the most insane Triling hero. But on the same side, you don't really have too much stun. You have a lift into a slow, I guess, into some spin. King J trying to go into the jungle. Now, one good thing about this particular offensive Triling is the fact that you can challenge pulls very easily. The pull is blocked off for now, but I expect it to be de-ward very soon from LGD International.
And again, Razor pretty good against Juggernaut. I feel like LGD got really lucky with the heroes that Tong Fu happened to pick. Like, Razor works against Juggernaut, and he works against Lone Druid. So, got kind of lucky there.
Yeah, I mean, again, it questions Tong Fu's drafting in terms of picking straight into those heroes. Back on the top lane, we don't really need to see too much of this particular matchup. I think Brax is going to have a very tough time. This Spirit, even if it doesn't pick up an Orb of Venom, which I expect How to do so, he's going to just really shred Brax's HP.
I'd like to point out, this is really important, there's actually a mid-pull going on right now by
Yep.
Wisp. They cleared out all of these trees, he was able to get it. It's a lot harder to do this right now, and there was pretty much an instant patch when people started playing this in the pro scene because it was so imbalanced. And if we look at the EXP levels going on right now, G is about to hit level 3, Moo's still only level 2, and he's going to be at a big EXP and CS deficit because of this. It is extremely game-breaking, honestly. So nicely done by Wisp to be able to pick this up. This is 3 creeps that were denied EXP, and he killed 2 entire jungle camps by himself.
Yep, so he hits level 2.5, very good time. But back at the bot lane here, I think because there's, the Wisp pulling in the mid lane, it's a 3v2 lane situation. They have to win this, but unfortunately, it's hard to actually get an initiate off.
Yep.
As long as Shadow Demon stays back enough, they're not going to get the kill. But back in the mid lane, though, it was G, tether up, getting a battery assault, going straight in for Dragon Knight. Normally a tanky hero, but just went straight down there.
Yeah, he went for 2 battery assaults, which is really smart against tanky high armor heroes because it's all magic damage that will go through all of your armor. He is bottling up some regen here, used 1 breathe fire. Be just fine though. And G brings the bottle to himself, so easy illusion rune. This is a little scary as well because if he gets a cog in, he's going to easily be able to block in the Dragon Knight with a lot of damage.
Well, Dragon Knight, I mean, killing that DK at level 1 or level 2, it doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. It's going to harass him down a little bit. And yeah, I feel like in the past when we've seen Clockwork do very well, it's not really dependent on how much farm he gets or how much levels he gets. Really, it just depends on whether he's hitting the hook or not. And he's going to have more times hitting those hooks because he's going to hit 6 soon, but we'll see how G plays.
Might be hard to get both. Nope, he gets both with the rocket. Doing a really nice job to deny some of Moo's mana here. And the tri-lane has now shifted over. Wisp is level 3, which is a big deal. His spirits now do 50 magic damage per hit, so a total of 250 possible. And this turns this overly defensive tri-lane into something that can actually do something. We'll see the tether come forward. Stun goes down on King J, and here comes the spirits. Banana might be in trouble, but he does get disrupted. Here comes the tether. He hasn't done a link yet. Now picking him up for some damage, but he's got to be careful to spin. Banana looks quite dead here as Pycat will pick up the kill. Will they get another on Sansheng? He's heading for plus 28, which is a serious amount of damage in the early game, and he will go down. Slightly counteracted by the Rubik, and in the meantime, G picks up a kill on the mid lane, so 4-0 advantage for LGD Int to start off this game.
Yeah, Tong Fu's on a meltdown. King J's spin, by the way, hit absolutely zilch. Like, he was spinning between Rubik, or between Misery and 1437, so, like, it was just like a fireworks show. That did nothing. And, well, we don't expect a second kill going on the mid lane, but I guess the battery assault build has really... He's actually got 3 points on battery assault, just isolating that Dragon Knight and just finding easy kills. And now with the boots speed up on Clockwork, those kills come a lot easier.
2 kills on the mid lane. He's walking back to lane without boots. Moo is extremely far behind her because of that mid pull and the nice gank by G. A level 6 hero versus a level 4, I mean, there's very little Moo can do at this point. He can still pick up some CS, but easy rune control from G using his battery assault, and he picks up a haste rune, the scariest rune a Clockwork can get. If he doesn't get a kill out of this haste rune, I'm going to be really surprised.
Yeah, he's going straight up top here, and there's going to be very little response time. How should see it, right? There is an observer ward spotting that ward being picked up. He walks in the jungle, got to block that hook. It doesn't block, and that's going to be yet another kill. Tong Fu is reminded this game, or they worry about a little bit further down the road. This observer ward sees the rune. This is an elementary mistake.
There's zero mistake or zero excuse for that to happen. And he definitely saw him pick up the haste rune. There was no pings from the mid lane. Maybe they're upset because they're losing and not communicating. I don't know what's going on, but that is a death that can't happen, especially because Lone Druid has an advantage versus a Nature's Prophet, and this is going to give him some space to free farm. He's picked up phase boots now, and now he can actually contest Lone Druid's last hits really well.
Yeah, I mean, LGD International is one of the most dangerous teams to allow to have this kind of start because... I mean, they might not finish the game well, like other team, but they're one of the best teams in terms of just snowballing hard enough that you never actually look back. And LGD is off to one of those really good starts.
Yep. So the bot lane, see how they're doing. 2 kills on Razor. He's got 15 CS now. Juggernaut is only at 11. They're actually going to sap some damage. Pycat wants to fight this one. Oh, almost is able to stun King J. Pycat might be in some trouble. Great disruption from Misery now. He's going to keep alive. Look how much damage he's got. Plus 80. Here comes the Soul Assumption. It does get the kill, though, so Pycat goes down. The ulti from Nature's Prophet and another poison. Good pickup from Misery. They might not even get King J. We'll see. He's going to be getting low. Needs another poison in a second. It's not even going to matter.
Salve?
Not going to get it. Man, Shadow even picks up a double kill, and Misery here comes, 3.5.
Man. I just want to say that all of that was the gank up top. It was a haste run up gank that hit the Nature's Prophet to level 6.
Yeah.
In that particular engagement, if they don't have the Wrath of Nature, they weren't going to pick up King J. They weren't going to pick up the Rubik. So it's just like the butterfly effect in a sense. Something small happened up top and now transition to something huge that happened on the bot lane. And we're looking at 7-1. It was a nice kind of rebuttal kill against Pycat, but I mean, we talk about Razor either having huge games or not, either having no impact. And he's having one of those huge games right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Despite dying there, they set up a double kill for their supports, and this is going to get them to 6 even faster.
Up top?
Arguably much more important than the other heroes. Oh, geez, invisible. What is going on with this druid? He looks like a mud golem, man.
I
this
hate
is a new
this
cosmetic set.
I hate this cosmetic. It looks absolutely atrocious.
I thought for sure it was a mud golem. Seriously. I was like, why is there a mud golem?
It looks. I like cosmetics because it makes your hero look better, but when it makes the hero look complete. What the hell is this? This is not Lone Druid.
G is so scared of this that he's literally going back to the mid lane.
This is a Lone Druid that got like a paint bucket poured on top of him.
LD likes the flames. Okay, another cog's actually being used. He's going to get stunned almost within tower range. There's the Grave Chill going to be lifted back in a bad spot, but he can actually hookshot. Great choice there. Banana's going to be so low, but he won't be able to survive. Yes, he will actually. Just barely. The poison won't get the kill. Soul Assumption on Muno, and nobody dies from that one. Great decision making there from G. He's able to make it out. I thought he was dead for sure.
I mean, with the poison, he actually goes down to 1 HP, but poison does not do fatal damage.
Yeah, this poison does not.
Yeah,
So.
unfortunately not. So, well, missed opportunity. I talked about the levels not minding or not being too much of a big deal for Clockwork, but that level definitely helped out there. Top lane, though, that bear trying to get a couple of entangle hacks going on, but nothing just yet.
I feel like if his back wasn't so naked looking, that it would be better. Know what I mean?
If it weren't white.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about him ever again. Let's just pretend he doesn't exist.
Good, because he doesn't exist in this game right now. He's 0-1 with no farm.
Alright, Pycat has phase boots picked up now. King J's got to be really worried. Even when he hits 6, I don't think